I actually lied on the end of last Thursday's video. Pretty uneventful, so I think I'll just spend the rest of the night journaling, trying to get back into that. I didn't end up journaling. Instead, I had to pack for the weekend trip and then edit that day's video, so I'm gonna actually journal today. And to make sure I actually do journal, I'm gonna make today's video about journaling, because nothing really happened today besides work. Jamie played Pokemon against my dad, and then she had to go to Walmart to pick up some supplies for her cosplay making. I also picked up some important supplies. So today I guess I'm going to share some of my old journals, what I journaled for, and what I'm journaling currently. And for anyone watching that does journal as well, if you have any tips or advice or comments, let me know. Behind me are pretty much all the journals I've had growing up. Now that I have them out, I'm not actually too sure how I'm going to structure this, so I think I'll start by going with the one I'm currently on, the one I completed most recently, and then the first ever journal, or I guess diary, what I called it back then when I was 7. So, I guess it's pretty typical for a journal, where it's a lot of notes combined with logs from my life. This is when I was trying to sort my hard drives and get rid of redundancies. You also might notice that my handwriting has not improved since I was a child, so it's a bonus for me as a low level of encryption where people can't read it. I think I started it sophomore year of college, December 2015. Yeah. Guess I did not want to remember this. Looks like this was the week of the release for the Nintendo Switch and Breath of the Wild. Had it all planned out. Was really excited for that. Played in the office. I remember my friends and I listed our top 5 or 10 favorite animes at the time, March 2018. It's changed since then, of course. They're definitely logs for something. I think my friends will remember what this was for, but yeah. At the end are just some things that people have given me or other notes. I had this during college and a bit post-college, but during college I also had this in my pocket all the time, and it was a way for me to list down what I had going on and what I needed to accomplish. These were things I had to do during the week. I'd add them with a minus and turn it into a plus once I completed them. Looking through this, I'm remembering how useful. Oh, finals week. Okay. Yeah, I'm remembering how insanely useful this was back at the time, so I might get another small notebook to start doing this again. Before I did this, actually, I used to do it on index cards, and I'd fold them up. I actually saved my favorite ones, because they were big accomplishments, or this one isn't an index card, but the post-it note. I think I saved this because these were the last things I had to do for either sophomore or junior year. This is what I used to do before. Take an index card, fold it like this, use one side at a time, and so I'd fill it out with a class. So I guess this one was Chemistry 161, 161 Lab, ICS 313, ICS 390. I don't remember what this 426 is, but I'd list down the things that were either due or I had to do, cross them out, and once it got too dirty, flip the next side, then fold it over next side, and the red ones I think were like they're due soon. So I think the reason I kept this was because it was the last one of this semester. Can't remember which semester right now, but it was helpful for me. So that was my college/young adult notebook. This was my first ever journal or diary. My mom got it to me at a national bookstore in the Philippines. My Life in Written Form Part 1, because I guess I was going to make a series for my life. Even though it's pretty much unreadable, I'm really happy I did this because there are a lot of memories that I would have otherwise just forgotten. First ever diary entry, January 16, 2003. Today we went to swim, to eat lunch like chicken, then went to Saviour's. Me and Keziah saw a frog, we got ice cream and went around the pool. So the handwriting is almost exactly the same, but at least there's a bit more flow to my thoughts. These few pages are me documenting the Pokemon trading card game competitions I participated in, what they were, which decks I used, placements, what I remembered or learned from the matches. So May 6, 2005, me and Lola went to the Dag Bag after breakfast, and yesterday me and Lola went to Toys R Us and bought a voice changer of Darth Vader. Third Star Wars movie. I remember being upset that the ticket only had Star Wars Episode 2 written on it when in fact it was 3. So I wrote it down wrote it down myself. If you grew up in the Philippines, you'd recognize these immediately. June 4, 2006, back to school tomorrow. I'm a little bit excited. I have braces. Just got them on June 2, 2006. They hurt. Okay, I'm actually glad I wrote this down because I've been wondering forever when I got my braces, so nice. It was my very real driver's license from Legoland in Denmark. I'm going to put this away before I embarrass myself with it a bit more. Oh wait, actually, what's the last thing I wrote in it? August 6, 2009. Hello, I'm 13 years old and I am in second year high school. Life is okay and difficult. My iPod Touch has so many scratches already. I am bored. I live in Cagayan de Oro and go to Corpus Christi High School. I've been living here since last year. It's been long since January 9, 2008, the last time I wrote here. I've decided that I will write here once in a while. I guess I'm assuming that's my Nintendo Wii, my iPod Touch, and something. Until the next page, and I never wrote again. But it looks like I picked it back up with My Life in Written Form Part 4. One of these has to be 2 then. Previous stuff before this. I guess I wrote down on some papers. My Life in Written Form Part 3. Okay, so that's also not it. We have to find 2 first. Okay, this was 2010. Okay, I was definitely around 12 or 13 when I was making these. I was super interested in magic and aliens at the time. I remember making my own code. Yeah. Oh, there's the code. Okay. This is the third part of My Life in Written Form. First was diary, then journey to Bangkok, now this. Okay, that makes sense. I guess My Life in Written Form Part 2 was just 1 week vacation we had in Bangkok. Okay. my journey to Bangkok. April 5, 2009, so I think I was 12 or 13 around the time. This is my dad doodled a temple. Naked woman statue. Okay. We are in Siam Near Mit. There are sexy ladies to take pictures with. This place is cool. Okay, well, I was 13 or 12. Okay. 6:26 p.m. I banged my knee on the table. It hurts while I write this. We are eating at the buffet place. The show starts at 8 p.m. so we can walk around the place. Okay, I remember this and I'd like to share it. It's when we were supposed to have like a boat lunch. Okay, 1:07 p.m. First, we went in the Shangri-La cruise. I thought, cool, we were going to ride here after all. But then we went through the cruise to another cruise. It was nice. I thought, this is nice, I like it. But then we went through the boat again, and here we are. A nice cruise, not as cool as the others, but there's my notebook disintegrating all over the place. Yeah, but it is okay. So yeah, I remember walking through a big cruise ship to get to the other cruise ship, and then a smaller one. So far so good. My dad brought me and Joaquin downstairs to see the captain. I was excited. I expected him to be formal wear with high-tech gear and controls. What I expected. But all I saw was an old man in a thin, small sleeveless shirt with nothing but a gear stick and a steering wheel. What I saw. Then a staff member closed the door on my face. Okay, I remember. Just a bunch of collection of memories from the trip. Now to the Disintegrating My Life in Written Form Part 3. Duckman. I'm glad that I was a stickler with all this because it really helps me look back and remember what was when and all that. So, the first entry is just a recap, I guess. It was half of my life in it. It looks like a bunch of memories. Let's see what I sounded like at age 14. August 8, 2010. Today, I would just like to write what is in my mind. First of all, I would like to let people know that I have a very strong creative and active imagination. Okay, very creative. Very creative. You have to ask me things in person to know how strong my... Okay, never mind, this is kind of embarrassing. Let's look for something else. Oh, August 17, I'm sick of everything. Today was the first day of first quarter exams. Math A was okay, Filipino was hell, TLE was easy. I hate Filipino, I hate it. I told my mom how hard the test was. She said, so you're gonna get a line of 7? I said yes. It's almost like she stopped loving me already just because of my grades. I always pray to God for good grades. Okay. Oh, cool. This one has some diagrams. Let's check this out. September 12, 2010, Sunday. After this. Okay, Friday, 10 a.m. Okay. Maybe around 11:25 a.m., my dad, my mom, Lara, and I had lunch in Teriyaki Boy in SM. I had what I always ordered in Teriyaki Boy, chicken Jew. It's this chicken, cooked well done, sliced into strips on top of a rice, poured on all over with teriyaki sauce. The sauce is like a sweet, heavy substance. Yummy. Then at around 11:59 a.m., I went upstairs to get a haircut at Salon de Rose. Every time I get a haircut, I always tell them not to shave my sideburns. Just shorten them. I keep my sideburns. Anyway, I kinda like my haircut. Trees and cement, big basketball court, clubhouse, really big, 3 stories, blah, blah, blah. Imagine that, except really, really freaking bigger. But on the way, it started to rain lightly. Tisk. The weather in the morning was so nice, so we skated upstairs in the unfinished house. Specifically Lolo's and Lola's room. There was wood, so we kind of made this little ramp to go up, over, and down. Alright. Just up, over, and down. So Saturday at 2 p.m. it was drizzling. Bad since we were going to skate at the Tambo bus terminal again. Tambo bus terminal? I think this is when I learned how to board slide. Top of view, board slide, feet here. Direction. Okay. Well, I don't think 14-year-olds should have this bad of a handwriting. Whoa. Torn bits mean nothing. I'm glad I cleared that up. Yeah, ignore this because Tito Arnie wrote this. This first ever writing in this book. Oh, I think I was mad that Tito Arnie vandalized it before I got a chance to write in it. iPod Nano, actual size. 3. Okay, part 4. Okay, same stuff. Same type of stuff. Oh, this is me explaining Guitar Hero. This is explaining an art project. December 6, 2010. TikTok. I invented it. What? School is being crappish. One of the math problems. Find the degree of the angle of the tangent being intersected by the segment. When the fudge am I going to use that in my future? What the fudge? Everything's becoming so difficult. There's young teenage me. And I'm assuming this one is part 5. Okay, I made an itemized list of my manga wall. I'll make a video on my manga wall another time, but looks like this is what I have up there. It looks like I did update this late last year. Moved card to Amphro's collection in my Pokemon binder. Okay. This one 2010, so I was 14, so I guess I may have ripped this off of the internet. I don't remember. I think so, because I can't draw that well. I guess you can get rickrolled by a page in this journal. Chords to my favorite song. This is a copy of a drawing of a duck my friend Aisha drew for me in space. You'll notice that the tuning is at EBGDAD and not EADGBE. Oh yeah, I saw Force Awakens 5 times in the theaters. I will defend that movie. I have problems with it, but overall I enjoyed it. What's in here? Oh, I asked my friend Miguel Shao to design me a skateboard and just put stuff that I like on it. So I guess it's 2010, so I was 14 at the time. So I guess a chick, guns. I don't really like guns. Runaways, the comic, and then a duck wearing a Kangol, and then the necklace that a comic book character that we created, Emily, would wear. Christmas Spectacular, Radio City. I think this is from the first time I ever rode a bus in Hawaii. No, that can't be it. Oh, the first time I ever used a transfer. Yeah. I keep a lot of stuff like that. And then these ones are just side journals, so my mom got me this. Full of stuff being emo, I think. This one was also a Christmas gift. One of those fun. I guess I'll finish this sometime. This is from when I tried to do a podcast with my friends back in college. Talked about Pokemon with Najee. Talked about... Oh yeah, we talked about how Naruto should have been the 6th Hokage. Nainoa. We talked about League of Legends. I know pretty much nothing about League of Legends. He played a lot, so I asked him about it. And that was it, I guess episode 4, which never came out, was so bad that I just stopped. Should have continued, but if I ever do a podcast again, I will come back to this notebook. This is a Legend of Zelda moleskin, and I haven't gotten that far into it. I started it on January 22, 2023, and I'm only this much into it, so not a lot of writing has been going down. So I'm going to try and get better and do that. So the good news is that they already sell notebooks that come made like this already, so you don't have to make it and have bad handwriting like me. But the gist is that you list out the days of the month, including the actual day, so that you know, like, January 1 was on a Wednesday. You write a line about, like, the main highlight of that day. And on the side, you have 3 activities that you want to do for the month. And if you get to do it that day, you shade it in. And if not, then X. So I have not been able to do any of these 3. Exercise, video games, or guitar. So at the end of the month, see how much you actually got to do them. then reevaluate your priorities and what you want to do, and maybe have a different list. On the right side would just be, I guess, general notes. I think I'm going to start talking about like what I need to do for work or other projects, or just general notes. And for the rest of it, I'm just going to continue on like how I have been doing until I get to February and do that thing, and then so on and so forth. So yeah, so thanks for listening to me talk about my notebooks, and I hope they maybe inspired you to journal, and if not, then I hope you're at least entertained by my ramblings as a child and as a young adult and old adult. If you don't journal, then I think you should at least try it. For most of my friends, I've given them at least one journal, so that's my way of trying to see if they're into it or get them into it. And if not, then it's fine, but I think you should at least try it because it's worth it. I think it's worth it not just to keep a log of like what you did at the time, but also how you felt at the time, who you were with. I know pictures and videos capture that. It's a bit different when doing it through just sitting down and writing and reflecting on your day, or doesn't even have to be what happened that day. It could just be what you're feeling, what you're thinking about, your plans of action. Having it written down on paper just makes it a bit more clear and helps give you perspective. If anyone uses digital journals, let me know how that is for you, because I've tried it and I'm not really a fan. I prefer having the paper, the feel of the paper, and being able to flip to pages. I'm sure there are some search functions for digital ones, but I just don't like the idea of having to rely on like having a device powered by a battery to be able to look at my notes. I like having it and being able to tape or glue things on it, different memories, so I think that's the use for me. It's also a neat way to see how much you've grown or changed perspectives on things, even in just a few months. Because sometimes I look back and I read things that I wrote like 10 months ago and I don't recognize some of the feelings I had in there, or I don't remember having them. So it's nice to see when you've either improved, or maybe it'll help you get aware that you've worsened in some areas. But either way, it's a good thing to have to refer back to in your life. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have for today. So I'm going to edit this video now.
Put a basic energy from your discard pile into your hand.